Satan sucks, but you're the best. Holy smokes, you pass the test. When I'm with you, I feel blessed. A chinchilla. Satan sucks, but you're okay. Since you came, things go my way. Here tomorrow, here today.
getting the first pick.
Oh, get 3, Pyro, get 3 with the
Blade Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, Overwatch fans. Welcome to the end of Stage 2, Week 2 of the Discord Tier Arm Pool A of the Overwatch Tranquility Tournament. Tonight, we have a great match between Prodigious and Lightspeed. Both of these teams have had major success in Stage 1, both ending with a 4-1 record. In this match, we will see both teams hungry for their first win of Stage 2 in this incredibly important match. I'm Shamanzi on the play-by-play tonight, joined by Needle on analysis. What are you looking forward to tonight, Needle?
I'll tell you, the main thing I'm looking forward to tonight is this new Prodigious roster, because unfortunately they had to make some changes heading into Stage 2, and then after last week's match they made some more changes. So I think they're a bit of a wild card right now in the community, just because, well, at least for this match, I'm not exactly sure how strong they are anymore. They're probably not at the same level as they once were when they did have their 4-1 record in Stage 1, but I think that they probably pieced together a pretty good roster, and I'm excited to see how this new roster is going to perform tonight against Lightspeed, who have shown to be a pretty good team so far this season.
Yeah, I agree. I'm super excited to see how Prodigious plays. I mean, just building an entirely new roster from Stage 1 to Stage 2, and then even from Week 1 of Stage 2, building almost an entirely new roster to Week 2. Basically gone through 2 entire roster overhauls in the past couple weeks. Still, they are performing well. They performed well. They had a Week 1 match versus the Heckin' Habaneros. Unfortunately, they lost that 0-3-1. Which will put them to an 0-1 record for Stage 2. And Lightspeed as well also has an 0-1 record with a 1-3 loss to Seal Team Spuds in Week 1. With these records, it's incredibly important that these teams get these wins. The winning team gets a chance to go for the 1 or 2 seed, and the losing team can only do as best as 5th or 6th seed in playoffs.
Yeah, seeding is very important. The higher seed, normally you get easier matches, and I believe it's also less time before you actually have to play in playoffs. I'm not entirely sure how it works with the 24-team format. But yeah, definitely getting these wins in Stage 2 is important, not only for your seeding, but also the morale. Having a rough Stage 2 is not the most fun experience ever, as somebody who went 0-3 in Stage 2 last season. It can definitely cause some issues with teams, so you don't love to see the 0-3 Stage 2, but one of these teams will not have an 0-3 Stage 2 because one of them has to win tonight. I think it's going to be a good match. I think there's definitely potential for this to be a good match, but it's hard to tell with another new Prodigious roster.
Yeah, I am excited, and on the other hand, Lightspeed, kind of an underdog going through Stage 1 and even into Stage 2. They ended 4-1. They had some really great matches in Stage 1, showing a really strong roster. I believe this is their first featured match, so I'm excited for Lightspeed to finally get the stage and to show Tranquility what they have to offer. And I want to see if they can continue their winning streak going into Stage 2.
Yeah, well, they don't exactly have a winning streak because they lost last week. But I am excited as well to see how Lightspeed play tonight, because I have not seen, to be honest, I had not seen any of Lightspeed before. I recognize some of their names, just from just vibing in the Discord. But speaking of which, if you aren't already in the Discord, you should probably join it. But I am excited to see how Lightspeed plays. Based on their record in Stage 1, I thought they were a pretty good team. So I want to see how they actually play tonight in this match. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. But I'm also excited for this new patch that came out just today, I believe. I love it when we get to see matches on new patches. I did not intend for that to rhyme, but it did. But matches on new patches are always nice because you get to see a preview of what's to come for the next week when the patch comes out for the Thursday feature.
Yeah, we saw in the patch today that just went live, we saw an Orisa buff, which I believe buffed just her projectile speed and her health. The Roadhog buff, which basically just makes him hook enemies closer. There was a McCree buff, enemies are stunned for longer and he rolls further. And then I believe the last one is a Baptiste buff, where it's easier to build his ultimate.
Yeah, I definitely think there are some impactful changes in that patch. I think the Baptiste one is definitely really important. You don't have to play Baptiste necessarily with double shield. And sorry for the slight delay. We were waiting for one of the players to reboot their game. The match should be starting somewhat soon. But yeah, Baptiste, I think he's a pretty strong hero. You can play him with Reinhardt. Sometimes you can play him with Orisa as well, who got buffed. So I think if some of these teams want to incorporate Baptiste into their comps, he's not being played in Overwatch League at all, but they're a few patches behind. So I'm interested to see how these teams take on this patch, because we've seen patches cause absolute chaos before in some Tranquility matches, like when Roadhog had the basically insta-kill anything from across the whole map with his 7 damage per pellet shotgun blasts. The Tranquility went crazy. There were some crazy upsets, crazy results. Some teams looked absolutely insane when you didn't expect them to be. So I don't think this is going to be one of those patches, but I definitely think that the patch will have an impact on this match.
Alright, and we are going to be heading into our first map, which is going to be Control, and it's going to be Busan. I believe we're going to be starting off here on Mecha Base. What kind of comps do you like seeing on Mecha Base, Neil?
I like Reinhardt on Mecha Base, honestly. I think the Winston comps aren't bad. I think you can play virtually anything on Mecha Base. I think you could play Double Shield. I think you could play some Rhine comps. I think you could play Winston comps. There's definitely a lot of variety on Mecha Base. It's a pretty large point for a Control map, so you have the room to do ranged comps if you like ranged comps. You have the room to do rush comps if you want to opt into the rush on the bigger side of the map, the high ground. So I definitely think this is going to be a good matchup where we get to see what these teams, their stylistic choices, you can often see on Mecha Base.
Yeah, and heading to Mecha Base, as long as neither of the teams are switching, we see pretty similar comps. It's going to be a Reinhardt Zarya rush comp. It's going to be a lot of damage close range, except we see Prodigious opting for the Mei and Lightspeed opting for the Doom. And Doom has great pick potential. You got the right click, the punch, which instantly can kill any, I believe, 250 HP enemy. So it's going to be super interesting how that fares versus the Mei.
Yeah, I agree. Right. I definitely think that the Mei has the advantage, but we'll see how it turns out.
Prodigious taking a fairly passive approach as Lightspeed is going to speed right into them. The Mei wall is going to come out from Prodigious from the very beginning. Both teams just kind of poking a little bit, not taking too aggressive takes, as Magnify is going to go super hard into Mist. Mist shield's going to break, and both teams just continuing to poke. No picks found. Grant's actually going to find Abstract. Reaper falls for the side of Lightspeed, and a lot of damage is gone, as well as Beppo. That's going to be 2 down for Lightspeed, and it's going to be forcing them to reset.
Yeah, that was some nice aggression there from Prodigious. Magnify, he already has his Shatter, while there's only a Coalescence online for Lightspeed. This is looking pretty good for Prodigious, as this is a really good point to hold on to as well. You can just cycle ultimates really effectively here in this small choke, and I think the Shatter is going to be the first piece of it.
Yeah, Coalescence going to come up from the side of Lightspeed. The big Mei wall comes out. Magnify does put down the Earth Shatter. He's going to be found, though, by Abstract. Manverdu finds 2, though. Prodigious going to be up 1 player. They're going to have to play slow, though, without the Reinhardt, or else Mist is going to have a free Earth Shatter. The grab, the Coalescence comes out, as well as the Blizzard's out. Zoe's going to find Beppo with the Coalescence. 2 picks for Extra Sharp that fight. And Prodigious is going to find that fight win fairly messily, but definitely still a great fight win for them.
Yeah, it's good that they won the fight, but that was an insanely expensive fight. I was just talking about the ultimate rotations and how it's really good to rotate your ultimates to hold on to this point, but they don't have any ultimates to rotate anymore.
Yeah, and Lightspeed taking a really aggressive approach again into the Mei wall. Earthshatter's going to come out for Mist, but a nice block from Magnify. Charybdis finding one with the Reaper ult. He's going to find another, and that's 4 picks right off the bat for Prodigious. They're just playing so well off of this Mei wall from Grant, and at Lightspeed just don't know what to do about it yet.
Yeah, I'm very surprised we haven't seen a different approach here from Lightspeed, a swap or going to the left side instead so that they can't get the wall on you. But now we get to see the left side rotation, I believe. And there are a lot of ultimates online here for Lightspeed. Probably a Space Gem going to come out for them this fight.
Lightspeed with a clear advantage, although they do get wall. The wall gets broken fairly fast, but Magnify sends Mist off the map as Ariana takes him with her. Extra Sharp gonna find Rare off of the map. The Graviton Surge comes out from Beppo. Although Lightspeed is down multiple people, the Reaper is gonna come out to try to save the fight. Charybdis does find 2 and is not looking good for Lightspeed as they're not gonna have any point presence in the last few ticks of the fight. Noam's gonna attempt to do Molt to point, but I don't think he can touch because of the May wall.
Yeah, that was really good aggression from Prodigious. They had the read on the last rotate there, and they got the wall regardless of Lightspeed trying to change up where they were going. So that was just really good from Prodigious, honestly. They looked very coordinated for a team that has been going through a lot of roster changes on this May Brawl. I'm really liking how it's looking so far, but we got to see a bit of a different point now going to Busan downtown. There's likely going to be a lot of dive. There's potential for Widowmaker here. Teams decide to opt into that one, but we get to see an Ashe on the side of Lightspeed. I definitely think that could be good for them because at least in the Brawl matchup last map, they didn't look as good as Prodigious.
Yeah, we're going to see both teams on the dive compositions. Prodigious faring with the Winston and Zarya, and Lightspeed on the Winston and D.Va. The D.Va is going to provide a lot of protection from the hit scan of Prodigious, but the Zarya is, from the side of Prodigious, going to be a lot more damage than the D.Va can offer. Lightspeed taking a fairly passive approach, trying to control this middle ground. The bubble is going to come out. Memory is found extremely low. Magnify taking space back though, and both teams just continuing to poke. Miss falls to 1 HP though. Menverdude finishes them off, and that's going to allow Prodigious to push in super aggressively. The D-Mech's going to come out, and Beppo is going to be stuck in the baby form as Grant does find Ariana. Mercy's going to be down for Lightspeed. That's the res being gone is absolutely huge for Prodigious, and we're just going to take first fight.
Yeah, Menverdude is looking great on the Zarya so far this match. He just got so much energy, and the fight lasted long enough for him to be able to get an early kill there. It's just, he's getting so much energy, and he can maintain it because his team is winning the fight consistently. And it's providing a lot of value for Prodigious. And what it's also going to provide a lot of value for them is their Nano Blade they almost have online, and with no defensive ult from Lightspeed.
Mistfall is extremely low going into the fight, but the Coalescence from Rare is going to keep him up as Ariana falls super early. Charybdis, who picks off 2 Abstract falls as well. Miss is going to finally take him down. Lightspeed still going to this fight down 1, no mercy. Miss is gonna fall, and Menverdude picks off 2. That's 4 picks for Prodigious. The D-Mech comes out on a Beppo, who Prodigious should stall out here. Gonna get pooped off the map by Extra Sharp, and another great fight from Prodigious.
Yeah, it looked like Lightspeed were committing maybe a few too many resources to try to shut down Charybdis that fight. But now there are 6 ultimates online for Prodigious as they look to continue their hold on downtown. This is looking really good for Prodigious, but I don't think that it's necessarily out of it yet for Lightspeed as they have 5 ultimates online.
The Blade is going to come out from Grant as well as a Nano is going to find Abstract. That's 1 down for Lightspeed. Got Ariana as well, 2 at the Blade. But Lightspeed finds 3. No one with the Pulse Bomb. Extra Sharp is out of the fight. Tanks from Lightspeed finding 1 pick each. And the fight is still completely even on point. Missed with the Primal Rage. Takes Zoe down. The fight just continuing to go slowly on point. Beppo comes out with the bomb to try to finally finish up this fight, and Lightspeed does clean up that fight and take it.
Yeah, that's a very good win for Lightspeed. Winning despite Nano Blade being used for Prodigious is absolutely amazing, and it's a really good start for them holding on to the point here. But they only have 3 ultimates left. They have the Valkyrie, the Bob, and the Coalescence, which they really need to use aggressively if they want to win this fight.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge from Membrodude could be absolutely massive, but a Graviton Eat, if Beppo uses Defense Matrix to eat that Grav, it could be absolutely massive and probably carry tempo for Lightspeed to win the rest of this point. But we do see Prodigious going for a coast approach here. Going to be going straight to point. The Bob and Coalescence are going to come out, as well as the Graviton Surge. Going to get just the Moira from the side of Lightspeed. The Moira's not actually going to be found. Magnify with the Primal Rage is going to be booping Bob off the point. 2 picks for Lightspeed so far. Charybdis does take down Beppo and D-Mex him, but still the fight just completely, the fight's just still even on point. There's 2 members of Prodigious left. Magnify is going to go down. Lightspeed does have the clear advantage here. Charybdis takes on Abstract, but there's not much a Soul Reaper can do versus an entire team. And once again, a bit of a sloppy fight. A lot of ultimates used, but Lightspeed is going to take that fight.
Yeah, I didn't like that engagement from Prodigious. They used their ultimates a bit too fast there. Mambo dude, he didn't have enough energy to even kill a coalescing Moira who was solo grabbed. So bit of an unfortunate engage there for Prodigious. Hopefully this one's gonna fare a bit better for them. But Noam has the pulse bomb, which cannot be eaten. But there's a nano blade on the side of Prodigious if they want to go in with that. But never mind, they're on a dead.
And a huge pulse bomb from Noam takes down Zoe and is gonna force Prodigious to regroup. Mist takes down Manro dude. That's 2 picks. They're gonna be actually chasing Prodigious back to spawn, which might be dangerous for Mist. He is gonna pop the Primal Rage so he doesn't die. Charybdis is gonna fall. That's a huge pick early on. And Mist is just making sure Prodigious can't get anywhere near this point, as there is, I believe it's 9% left for Prodigious to touch, with ticking down continuously. They are going to go to coast to try to touch. Grant comes out with the Nano Blade. He's gonna take down 1, 2. No one takes down Magnify though. Grant only able to find 2. He is gonna fall to Rare Soccer. Ariana does get the resurrection on the Abstract. Lightspeed with the 2-man advantage here on point. Member dude struggling to find the energy to finish off the members of Lightspeed. Abstract Bob is going to come to point and secure downtown for Lightspeed.
Yeah. Member dude initially he had a lot of energy going into when they won the first fight, when Prodigious won first fight. But it seems like his team went in perhaps a bit too fast for the Zarya pick to be effective, as he struggled to find energy in those fights, and I don't think that's necessarily his fault. I think his team's tempo was just a bit off. Prodigious' tempo was just a bit off that point, but I think they can go back to their brawl now. Their brawl that worked really well for them on Mecha base. On Shrine, I think brawl can be pretty effective, and I anticipate that is what Prodigious is going to do, and that's what they look like they're showing so far. Brawl with a Nano Blade is arguably better, although I'm kind of missing the Mei here. I think that the Genji could provide some good value when there's no Lucio on the side of Lightspeed.
Yeah, the Nano Blade, as you said, it could be absolutely massive when there is no Transcendence, there is no beat from the side of Lightspeed, so that's pretty much Prodigious win condition going into here. And in order to not get beat by dive, I think Prodigious just have to play together and just make sure they don't get split off so that Lightspeed can't dive solo targets. Mist gonna take down Charybdis early, and that's pretty much all of Prodigious's anti-dive gone. Reaper's huge burst DPS, and with him dead, it's gonna allow Lightspeed to basically just take whatever angles they want and play as aggressive as they want. Magnify is gonna fall as well, and the members of Prodigious just slowly trickling down to 0 HP. After with a nice shot on a Mandro dude, that's the second pick of the fight, and he's gonna find 2 more with the Dynamite. Both supports going down for Prodigious. Noam's gonna finish off Grant, and Lightspeed's gonna take the first fight.
Yeah, as much as I like the brawl on this point, I think the Ashe Mercy proven to be very effective for Lightspeed. The Ashe and the Mercy almost have their ultimates up already. A lot of ultimates actually online for Lightspeed. They almost have 6 ultimates already. A lot of ultimates on both sides. This fight's gonna be a bit of a crazy one. Probably gonna be an opening coalescence here from Lightspeed, but after that, it's gonna be a big ultimate fiesta.
Yeah, Rare Soccer coming up to Coalescence early as Lightspeed's just going to take an extremely aggressive approach here. Magnify's found extremely low. Mist gonna finish him off with the Primal Rage. Zoe falls as well, but Noam with a double Pulse Bomb. Charybdis and Extra Sharp are gonna fall to that, and Prodigious is chased all the way to their spawn. And what a great fight from Lightspeed there.
Yeah, winning with only 3 ultimates, that's pretty good, you know? Can't complain about winning with only 3 ultimates, but Prodigious didn't have to use a single one there to take the loss, so that's pretty good for them. They have the Nano Blade and the Graviton Surge online. This is going to be really good for Prodigious going in for the retake.
The Nano Blade could be absolutely huge here, as long as Grant can find the members of Lightspeed that are together. He's going to come out with the Blade, but the Nano actually doesn't come out. Grant falls early. Unfortunately, the Nano Blade plan did not work out for Prodigious, as 2 members of Prodigious fall. The B comes out from Extra Sharp to keep Prodigious up. The Nano onto Charybdis, as he is going to go out with the Reaper ultimate. Not going to find anything. No one picks off Zoe, and Prodigious is just they are not looking good in this fight after using so many ultimates. They are going to cap the point and start to tick up, but it's only 3 members of Prodigious remaining. Bethel comes out with the Diva Bomb, going to find 2. Member Dude and Grant are going to fall. Extra Sharp as well. Just Magnify on point. There's not much he can do as a lone Reinhardt, and what a great fight from Lightspeed, even though they just barely gave up the point.
I think that was some poor ultimate usage from Prodigious, but at the same time, they got the point flipped, so all is not lost. They still have another last fight here, and they still have the Graviton Surge online, which is going to be a really effective tool for them to get this retake. But Lightspeed, they have a few strong ultimates as well. They have the Coalescence, they have the Pulse Bomb, which is shown to get insane value here from Noam so far. So I think it's going to be difficult for Prodigious, but I think a good Graviton Surge or Shatter could really help them retake this point.
And Gnome with the Pulse Coming out doesn't find anything. Magnify does come out with the Earth Shatter. Member Dude comes out with the Graviton Surge. Mist does get grabbed. Gonna have the Primal Rage up to keep himself up. Beppo's gonna find Member Dude. Picks exchange from either side. Rare Stalker with the Coalescence gonna be doing a great job of keeping Lightspeed up, and Prodigious is just slowly falling as they do not have a main healer anymore, and nothing can heal them from all the poke damage of Lightspeed. And Lightspeed is going to win this final fight and take Busan and map 1 2-1.
Yeah, unfortunately for Prodigious there, those two ultimates were just not enough for them to get the retake on Shrine, but a pretty good showing from both teams. Relatively close, map 1. Prodigious looked insanely dominant on Mecha Base with their May Reaper, 100-0. That was a great showing from Prodigious, but on these next 2 points, on Downtown, on Shrine, Lightspeed, they looked rejuvenated. They looked much better when they were playing the Mercy Moira Ashe poke, you know, like the poke dive with the long range hit scan. I really like that look from Lightspeed a lot more than their Brawl on Mecha Base, so I imagine that's what we're going to see for them going forward in the series.
Yeah, we saw a very, very good Brawl come out from Prodigious. The May had insane value on Mecha Base. Unfortunately, the other 2 maps being Shrine and Downtown, not as good May maps, but we did see Lightspeed gather themselves and switch compositions, and they did fare better than Prodigious on the dive. So I'm excited to see what they come out with on Assault. Now Assault, also known as 2CP, really not... So a lot of the maps aren't really known as dive maps, but recently there's been a lot more dive being played with, you know, how good heroes are and with what the current meta is. What do you think either team is going to pull out going into 2CP, or what do you hope to see?
I hope to see the Brawl look from Prodigious again if they want to bounce back. They looked really good on the Brawl on Mecha Base, so I'm hoping they can pick the best map possible for their Brawl. They are a relatively new roster, going through some changes recently, so I don't know. I was very surprised that they looked so good on the Brawl, which is a comp that relies a lot on target focus. For a new team, they looked really good on the Brawl, and I hope they go to Volskaya hypothetically for the Brawl. I think that'd be a pretty good pick, and that is the map. Okay, I like this pick from Prodigious. I think they can do the May Reaper, and I think it's going to be pretty effective for them here.
Yeah, I do like the Volskaya pick here. On attack, you know, even if the enemy team is playing, I suppose maybe Lightspeed will play the dive with the Ashe at Mercy. That worked really, really well for them. If that happens, you know, even as Brawl, if you have the Lucio, you can just use the amp speed and rotate all the way around, take the high ground away from dive. And so, even though the point is pretty open and has extremely long sight lines, I think Brawl can definitely still be successful here. And I think that's what Prodigious needs to do to pull themselves back and take map 2.
Yep, I completely agree with Pichamancy, but I think we might see some new looks here. You know, this is a different game mode. It isn't Control anymore. It's 2CP now. We get to see some more different comps, maybe some more anchored comps, perhaps Bastion. Okay, I'm trolling. But there's probably not going to be no Bastion. I imagine we're going to see, like you mentioned, probably more, Ashe dive here on the side of Lightspeed. Oh, never mind. Flora. That's a bit of an interesting choice. But I like the Rein Zarya here for Prodigious that they're showing so far. The Rein Zarya has looked pretty good. And I think on defense, it's going to be extra effective as Mambro Dude can maintain his energy on 1 defense fights. But a bit of a different look of Rein Zarya. Rein Zarya with a Torbjorn, an Ashe, and a Mercy. That's a bit strange. But I'm not entirely opposed to this idea. I think it's going to be pretty hard for Magnify to find good aggression without a Lucio, though.
Yeah, on the defense here, I think that the Ashe and the Torb do get really good value from the long sightlines, but as you said, it's going to be tough for the Reinhardt to do much without the Lucio, but I think honestly just the pure poke damage from Prodigious will be enough for Lightspeed to have a lot of trouble, and Grant gets 3 direct shots on a miss, taking him down super early. Resurrection is going to have to come out for Lightspeed to go back into this fight, but yeah, Lightspeed just taking a really slow approach here.
Yep, but now they look to aggress. They're taking some space. Prodigious is forced back into the Mega. Not exactly the best spot for the defense here, but maybe they can make it work.
Trip is going to take Beppo's mech out of the equation. It's going to leave Lightspeed down their Diva. The defense matrix is gone, so it's going to be really rough for them to deal with the Torb and the Ashe. Dynamite comes out from Charybdis, finds multiple members of Lightspeed. That's huge. Grant's going to take down Noam with the turret, and the res comes out from Extra Sharp on a Charybdis. That's a huge resurrection to keep Prodigious in the fight. Grant's going to find Mist once again. That's 2 more picks for Grant. Beppo's going to find himself a nice swim in the water, and Prodigious does win fight 1.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Chim, the raw damage is what Prodigious needs to rely on if they want this comp to work. And they relied on it, and it worked. You know, despite losing one of their members, they were able to get a resurrect off, and this is looking like a good hold so far for Prodigious, and I think they could get a good ultimate rotation going with a Nano boost here. Nano is an ultimate that's really good for snowballing and ult rotations because it can get a lot of value just on its own.
That is true. Lightspeed once again taking a super slow approach here, taking the middle high ground to start off. Abstract falls extremely low, but not quite going to be finished. The Bob from Abstract does go into Mega Room. The Bob from Prodigious also matching. Remember, it's going to be found. The off tank is dead for Prodigious. Magnify with the nano boost, not going to be able to do much without the Lucio. Falls extremely low. Mist going to continue to be playing extremely aggressive. Magnify falls down. Zoe as well. Prodigious is not going to have their main heals, but Extra Sharp is going to pop the Valkyrie to keep his team up. Not going to quite work though. Charybdis does pick off 2, so maybe it will work. Manfredude falls very low as Lightspeed just cannot finish these kills here. Beppo gets demeched by the Torbjorn turret. The Graviton Surge comes out from Manfredude to try to win the fight, but it's a Baby Diva and a Winston versus a Torb, but Lightspeed is going to finish off the remaining members. Prodigious might get another touch here.
Nah, it doesn't look like they're going for one. That was a good effort by Prodigious to try and hold down the point. They invested some ultimates into it, but Lightspeed, they held it down. You know, they despite losing their Diva's mech, that was not enough to stop their momentum, and they take the first point. And heading into the second point, they have some decent ultimates to snowball. They could go in with a Nano Winston play, which would be pretty strong. But at the same time, Grant, he has what's it called? Molten Core. He has Molten Core, which I think is going to be pretty effective to shut down an aggressive engage if Lightspeed decide to go for one.
Lightspeed's going to be starting off here on the high ground, just poking, trying to take down the Torbjorn turret, do a little bit of damage, get some abilities out before they fully commit because of how much burst potential is there. But Beppo gets DMX super early. Mist going to come in with the nano boost, dives into the back line, not going to quite find anything. Beppo's taken down in the baby form. Magnify is going to get antied though and going to be found. Extra Sharp goes down as well, so maybe Lightspeed going to be coming back in this fight despite being down the Diva early on. Manfredude falls as well, just Grant on the point. Zoe is going to be the last member of Prodigious remaining. They're not going to quite finish her off. They do finally. Magnify going to touch the point with a 4-man shatter. Not able to finish anything off though. How tragic. What a huge shatter. Manfredude back on the point to stall as Ball. Bob comes out from the side of Charybdis. The Diva Bomb going to come out as well from Beppo just to finish off anyone else left on point. And Zoe touching Lightspeed, just their target focus is too good. Just Prodigious cannot muster enough to turn this point as they continue to stall.
Yeah, Prodigious doing their best, but they have no more ultimates to expend except for this nano boost they almost have, but it's not enough as they continue to touch and trickle onto the point, extending this cast for this fight that was lasted probably a bit longer than it should have, but overall a really good attack from Lightspeed. They've just looked so good so far playing this Ashe Mercy. It seems like they're commanding so much space. They just put this Ashe Mercy on the high ground and they're like, run away, hide in fear, play near corners, and Prodigious are like, okay. And they back away, and they give so much space to Mist, to Beppo. They just take it. Mist and Beppo, the dive tanks for Lightspeed, looking really good in combination with Abstract and Ariana, I believe, on the Ashe Mercy duo. It's looking really good so far for Lightspeed, but I don't think Prodigious is out of it yet. I think a new comp, or maybe going back to their May Reaper Brawl, could bring them back in this series, but so far, Lightspeed has just looked great.
Yep, my lungs cannot take any more 2CP stall, so Lightspeed thankfully did finish off that with the good target focus. They did have a lot of ultimates built up as well, but that was a great fight from them. Losing Beppo early and just coming back Abstract, it has been absolutely amazing. Map 1 and on their push on Volskaya. Just finding so many picks and opening up so many opportunities for Lightspeed to take advantage of. He's been amazing on the Ashe so far, and I'm excited to see what he has to offer for the rest of the game.
I completely agree, but not to count out Prodigious' numbers at all. They look pretty good too, and we're going to see another new composition here for Prodigious. They're playing Echo. which I think is actually not the worst pick with the hit scans being nerfed. I think it's a bit of an interesting pick, but we'll see if he can get value against Abstract's Ash, which has looked so good so far this series.
It's going to be dangerous for Grant as Echo without the Mercy Pocket versus the Ash with the Mercy Pocket. Just a couple of shots to the body and the Echo's already dead, but as you said, Echo could get a lot of value versus the nerfed hit scans. He is going to be unfortunately taken down early in the fight. Extra Sharp does have the Resurrection available. Not sure if he's going to opt to use it. He does. Going to get bubbled for safety. Lightspeed continuing to hold this choke as they're just trying to recover and stabilize themselves.
Yeah, Noam proving to be a nuisance so far in the backline, causing a lot of damage, a lot of disruption, as Grant just struggles to find value here against a very strong hit scan, but he kills Noam.
And a nice one-shot on Noam. Gonna put Prodigious up 1 in the fight, and Grant's kind of gonna be able to run free. Missfalls as well. Abstract actually is going to take down Grant. The Bob is up here for Abstract. The Bob could absolutely turn the fight. It comes out, and it's doing a great job of just pressuring Magnify and making him hold that shield. Charybdis falls extremely low. Gonna be, fortunately, kept alive by his supports, and Prodigious with a really good first push, taking it slow, getting their picks, and they're gonna be able to cap point 1 here shortly.
Yeah, a nice kill from Grant there onto Noam helped open up that fight for Prodigious, and now they're looking at almost 6 ultimates. They've got a few ultimates that are a bit far off, but they have Graviton Surge, Valkyrie, Coalescence, and Bob. You spam all those ultimates at once, there's nothing Lightspeed is going to be able to do to stop this snowball.
That's true. Prodigious, if they use their ults here right, 100% I believe they can cap the second point with almost double time of Lightspeed. But as the clock does tick down, the ultimates of Lightspeed do tick upwards, so we will see if Lightspeed is able to build their ultimate fast enough to be able to counter this Prodigious push. As a nice flank from Grant, he's going to take down Ariana early. The Mercy is just gone for Lightspeed super early on, but Prodigious is not pushing aggressively, which is very strange. They're sort of waiting. Remember, dude, with the Graviton Surges, he's got so much energy here to finish off this fight. Grant's going to come out with the Echo ultimate, duplicating the Rhine. Taken down early, though. Prodigious with 2 picks. It's looking really good for Prodigious, but if they don't finish off the rest of Lightspeed, they're going to be able to stall just like Prodigious did.
Yeah, we're going to see the Pulse Bomb almost online from Noam. It's found a lot of value so far, but will it find any kills that could turn this for Lightspeed? I guess we'll just have to watch and find out, as he almost has it online, but he's being pressured and he's down, so Lightspeed, they're going to have to hope that Noam can come back for another fight if they want to get back in this. But a big pin on Extra Sharp, taking him down. The Graviton Surge from Manbro Dude comes out, though, proving to be pretty effective in the cleanup for Prodigious.
Yeah, huge pin there. Takes down Extra Sharp. The Mercy's gone for Prodigious, but Magnify with the clutch play there, with the Earth Shatter, and Member Dude with the nice Graviton Surge there. 100 energy just absolutely melts through the remaining members of Lightspeed, and Prodigious is able to cap that point with 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Prodigious have looked so good when they get the momentum going on these maps. They maintain it and they keep going and they snowball. Like on the first point of the map on Mecha Base, they won the first fight and then they held the choke really effectively with their May walls, and it just looked really good. And then on this first fight on Volskaya, they won off some good early picks from Grant, and then they got the ball rolling on the second point. Grant with another great flank takes out I believe the Mercy of Lightspeed, and then clones into Rhine and causes a lot of pressure in the backline. This looks like a new Prodigious on that attack. That looked like a new Prodigious, and I'm really liking what I saw on that attack from Prodigious. And I think if they keep up how they played on that attack, they could definitely win this map and bring it back in this series.
Yeah, Prodigious looked great there. In the Brawl versus Brawl, they looked great on second point, and given the space to work with, the Prodigious Brawl and attack on first point worked super well as well. And Lightspeed just doesn't know the answer yet. We are going to see a different look from them, though. They're going to be opting for the Rhine Zarya comp with Maria Mercy and Ash and Hanzo. The double sniper, very interesting take from them.
Yeah, it is quite interesting, but they have the Grab Dragon combo, and I like Hanzo on Volskaya. I think there's a lot of high ground he can access easily and get a lot of value with.
After taking down early, Resurrect is going to come up, now making the fight an even 6v6 once again. Lightspeed taking an aggressive approach on the right side. Missball is extremely low. No one's going to be found. That's 2 picks for Charybdis before the fight even starts. Miss taken down to, once again, almost 0 HP. His shield's falling extremely low. Lightspeed just trying to stabilize here as they are down a person. Extra Sharp taken out by Extract, making this an even fight, and that's a huge advantage for Lightspeed. Tribdis is not going to have a Mercy to work with anymore, so Abstract's going to be able to win these 1v1s. A huge Dynamite into the Mega Room, going to force Prodigious low, but a huge Earth Shatter from Mist takes down 3. Mist going to find Magnify with the charge. The Coalescence comes out as well to confirm the fight. It's just going to be Grant left on the point, and Lightspeed's going to cap on their first try.
Yeah, I really liked how Lightspeed stabilized there after losing a member. Then they took out Extra Sharp, and then they pushed in off that really effectively with their ultimates. That was a great fight there from Lightspeed. But they don't have much ultimates to show going into this next point. They might have to take a loss in order to get their Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike combo online, because they're not really close to it. All they have is a Bob, and I don't think a Bob is going to be enough to stop Prodigious here.
Yeah, Prodigious with the Nano Boost here is going to be huge. If Mist decides to take the Ride 1v1, Magnify is just going to win that any day with the Nano Boost. And if Prodigious uses that right and takes this fight slow, they're going to do a really good job here in this fight. Bob does come out early from Abstract to help put pressure on Magnify. The Nano Boost comes out onto Grant, who's going to take down Mist fairly easily. He does fall, though. This isn't even 5v5 now. Beppo's close to having the Graviton Surge online. Memberdude does find his Graviton Surge online, but he is going to be taken down by Noam. Magnify found extremely low. Prodigious back into a corner. Beppo with the Graviton Surge, a perfect opportunity, is going to come out, does get 2. Both of the tanks, the Dragon does come out. It's barely too short to catch Magnify, but he is going to find Memberdude. 3 picks from the DPS of Lightspeed. Charybdis does find Noam, making this a winnable fight for Prodigious if they can manage a touch. And Extra Sharp with the Valkyrie does manage to get on point, but they can't quite get enough members to turn the fight.
Lightspeed are stabilizing really well so far on both fights there on their attack. That they lost one person or they lost a few people, but then they got that one crucial pick that they knew they're like, we can turn this. We have the ultimates to turn this, and they did it both fights. They did it with the Valkyrie, the Shatter, and the Coalescence on the point A, and then they did it with the Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo on point B. That was a great showing from Lightspeed, but I think it's not all over for Prodigious. Their first attack looked really strong with the Echo and the Ash, and I think there's probably going to be some adaptations here. If I'm Lightspeed, I change it up a bit, and they are looking to play the composition that Prodigious just played on defense. I'm not sure if this is the right adaptation. I don't think Reaper is that good on this map, especially without a Lucio, but I guess we'll see how it goes for them.
Lightspeed opting for the Ana pick over the Moira. There's pros and cons. Without a Moira, you can't get the Coalescence, which is just such a crucial ult and so easy to build. You pretty much have Coalescence every fight or every other fight as Moira. But with Ana, you do get the utility like the Sleep Dart. Sleep can be really effective to deal with flankers, or you also get the Bio Nade. And landing big nades is pretty much just going to be what Rare Soccer has to focus on here to make this defense for Lightspeed successful.
Yeah, both teams yoinked each other's comps. We get to see the double sniper attack here from Prodigious, a new look. I was hoping to see the Echo again, but at the same time, we've seen Grant play a lot of heroes so far this series, and Hans is going to be another one that he adds to the count, and I'm going to be interested to see how he does.
Yeah, Prodigious taking it slow and steady here on the left side. Abstract going to fall really early, though. The Resurrect comes out, making an even fight again, but with no Resurrection really early, Lightspeed is at a heavy disadvantage here. Prodigious just taking it slow and borrowing from Lightspeed's first attack is, just stabilizing after anything bad happens and building these ultimates. Already halfway to Coalescence.
Yeah, looking good so far for both teams. We get to see a bit of a period where nobody's really dying until Grant gets his pick on Abstract.
Yeah, and the pick on Abstract is going to open up the fight for Prodigious, although Magnify falls extremely low. Gonna have to fall back. Prodigious took it so slow that Ariana actually got the Resurrection back, and Abstract's back in the fight. Memberdude's gonna find Mist. No Reinhardt for Lightspeed means that they're extremely vulnerable if Magnify can build this Earth Shatter, but once again, Prodigious just not able to find much, as although Charybdis does take down Ariana. A huge pick there. Abstract gonna fall off the map. No one with the Nano Boost now up. Does take down Magnify. That Reaper with the Nano Boost just does so much damage. But it's still quite the even fight. Zoe with a nice Coalescence is going to keep the Prodigious team up extremely well, and a little bit of a messy fight there, with some players from some teams going to the other team's backline. But that was a pretty good fight from Prodigious. I did like that.
Yeah, that was very back and forth, but the number one thing for Prodigious is that they still have their Graviton Surge Dragon Strike. They didn't have to use either of them. They don't quite have the Dragon Strike, but they're getting there, and I hope that Mambo Dude holds off on using the Graviton Surge until that Dragon Strike is ready. I'd like to see a bit of a slow fight here from Prodigious until the Dragon Strike is online, but a grab already coming out for Lightspeed.
Yeah, an extremely early grab's gonna find 5, but not enough damage to finish up on the grab. Prodigious gonna have the chance to fully regroup, and even though they lost no members, they can just stabilize here, and that was actually massive for Prodigious that the grab didn't kill anyone. Extra Sharp is going to be found, and Prodigious is going to have to reset fully. Not going to be able to go into this fight without that Mercy.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can still get some poke damage, and though Grant needs to get that last 26% to his Dragon Strike, but there are 4 ultimates online for Lightspeed. This fight is definitely going to be a big one. There are going to be a lot of ultimates on all sides, but I think whichever team uses their ultimates first is going to be at an advantage, and Prodigious don't have their Grab Dragon combo. They can't really use their ultimates first, so this is looking good for Lightspeed.
Yeah, so many ultimates online for both teams. The usage of the ultimates are going to be so crucial to who wins this fight, and honestly, who wins the map here, as this is going to affect the rest of the map. Mist playing pretty aggressive, expecting Mattify and Earth Shatter. The Earth Shatter coming out from Mist, not going to find anything. Prodigious is going to stabilize, though. That's Earth Shatter and Bob out from Lightspeed super early. They didn't find anything, though, and that's so good for Prodigious, who now has 6 ults.
Yeah, and the grab, I expect the Grab Dragon to come out any second now, and there it is.
Grab Dragon comes out, gonna find two pick for Prodigious. The Bob on point does get slept. No one with the Reaper ult to try to save that fight. Magnify falls, Zoe falls as well. That's an even fight now. Ariana Reza's Abstract. Lightspeed is now up 1 member, now 2. Now just Mambro Dude, Extra Sharp, and Grant left for Prodigious. Grant's gonna fall. They're gonna be forced to regroup fast. But this is looking so grim for Prodigious. Only 15 seconds left. Just the Earth Shatter online. Magnify can just barely touch. Maybe, I don't even know if he can touch.
Yeah, I actually, can anybody touch Prodigious? Maybe a flank shatter out onto Noam. I imagine a pin's coming in too, and he does touch, and he takes out the Reaper as well.
That is a huge touch from Magnify. Gonna take down Noam. A lot of damage gone from Lightspeed. Maverick finds one, Grant finds one as well on the Echo, but the Earth Shatter from Mist is going to come out, and without Magnify to block it, Prodigious is gonna crumble and fall. Noam finds one, Abstract gonna finish off Maverick to Dynamite, and Lightspeed with a great performance. Once again, a super close map. Gonna take full scout 4-3.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Reaper pick to get valued there for Lightspeed, but he really did, honestly. Noam with a huge Death Blossom saving the fight where Prodigious had 6 ults. Just a great showing from Lightspeed, but definitely a better Prodigious than we saw last map. They looked like they were struggling a bit with some comps on the latter half of Busan, but this Prodigious looked much better on their second attack and their first attack as well. A pretty good showing from Prodigious.
Yeah, that was a really close map. Prodigious is looking really good. I think they definitely, as you said, it looks like a new Prodigious from map 1. They definitely got their stuff together, and they're playing the Brawl comp really well. Lightspeed made some adjustments, and they matched the Brawl comp, and they played extremely well as well. Abstract just finding so many picks on the Ashe, and Charybdis as well. The hit scans from both of these teams just doing an absolutely amazing job, but both these teams still definitely in the game. Prodigious can come back with the reverse sweep if they continue this momentum of improvement. And what do you think Prodigious needs to do after halftime?
Maybe they just need to cool off a bit in halftime. You know, I think that they just need to talk about refining their strats a bit more. They're still playing a lot of different heroes, maybe a bit too many heroes. Just try to narrow it down to a comp or two going forward, and just keep grinding out that comp. And if Prodigious do that, I definitely think they can turn this around and maybe even get a reverse sweep.
For sure. Prodigious needs 3 maps after the half, but they've got 10 minutes to fully reset their mentals, you know, physically grab a glass of water or snack, but this is still definitely anyone's game. It's been insanely close so far, and I'm excited to see what we have in store in the second half. Welcome back, Overwatch Tranquility viewers, to the second half of the Prodigious and Lightspeed game in Discord Tier ARM Pool A. Right now, Lightspeed is currently in a 2-0 lead, although the scoreline is deceiving. This has been an insanely close match, Volskaya being 4-3 and Busan being 2-1. So I'm excited to be moving on here in this match to see if Prodigious can maybe pull out this reverse sweep here.
Yeah, I don't know about you viewers out there, but during the halftime break, I got me some Cheez-Its, some Cheez-It grooves even, because it's crunch time here for Prodigious. They're down 0-2, but they're not quite out of this series yet. They've made both of these maps competitive so far, and they can turn it around. They can get the tranquility reverse sweep. We see it a fair amount, you know, El Clasico, but will they be able to do it? Don't know. But we get to see them attempt to start their reverse sweep on Blizzard World, which I think is, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to play into these teams. I think it's going to be pretty good for Lightspeed. Actually, they've looked really good so far on the Ashe Mercy, but at the same time, you know, Prodigious, they probably picked this map for a reason. Maybe they've got some special strat, maybe double shield, even. Probably not. No. Yeah.
I don't think double shield's gonna be played here. I mean, it would be interesting to see, but I don't think that's something that's gonna happen. But Blizzard World is an extremely versatile map. It's one of my favorites. You can play all sorts of things. You know, you can play Reinhardt comp, you can play dive, you can play. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, you can play double shield here on maybe on defense. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what both teams play. I think maybe Prodigious going to come out with the Reinhardt composition again, and they are rolling out here on the defense with the Ryan Zarya, Ashe Torb, and Merciana. What do you think about this?
This is what they played on the defense on Volskaya last map, their first defense. It's not the worst comp, honestly. I was a pretty big fan of how they played it. Their Torb and Ashe got a lot of value. The Mercy obviously works well with the comp, but I mentioned it previously when they used the comp the first time. I think it's a bit difficult for the Reinhardt and the Zarya to kind of play with this comp. I think maybe a Winston or maybe even a double shield would be better here for the tank line for Prodigious, but they played the comp pretty well last time. But I hope this is not what we're seeing. Okay, no Wrecking Ball Reinhardt for Lightspeed. I'm very happy that I did not need to see that. I did not. But we get to see them sticking to their Ashe Mercy, which they played really, really well so far, Lightspeed are. So I think this is going to be a pretty good defense here and a pretty good attack. This is going to be a pretty good side of the map with the Ashe Mercy trying to penetrate through the Prodigious's very strong defenses.
Yeah, starting off right from the beginning. Familiar look from Prodigious, getting these really early picks with this Ashe Torb. So much poke damage, just so hard for Lightspeed to do anything, especially without the Lucio to speed the Reinhardt across. Just so hard. As Mist does fall extremely low, Extra Sharp's going to be taken down. Axdrive with 2. He's just been so amazing this game. He finds 2 picks right off the bat for Lightspeed's attack, and he's going to find more picks here. The Dynamite is absolutely huge. Almost takes down Member Dude. He's 1 health. Ariana's going to res Mist, and Lightspeed once again has a chance on this fight. Magnify the Earthshatter up already, and it's a huge 4-man Earthshatter turning the fight, and Magnify saving the fight completely for Prodigious. Prodigious going to win that first fight, albeit a little bit sloppy, with a great Earthshatter from Magnify.
That was a great comeback from not only Magnify, but Mambro Dude as well, killing Abstract and continuing to cause further mayhem that fight with the 100 energy. Absolutely great fight there from Prodigious, and now their ultimate bank. They won with only a Shatter, I believe, which is looking really good. They've got the Torbjorn ult, they have the Nano Boost. They're looking good to continue to hold on to this point, but at the same time, Abstract, he doesn't really care about ults. He's just gonna headshot you because he's looked so good. He's just too good at the game.
Yeah, Abstract's just been insane. Grant's gonna fall early to Abstract. The Rare Soccer, though, coming out with the Coalescence, it's so much pressure onto the Prodigious tanks. Tribus gonna find Abstract finally as Zoe falls as well. Abstract gonna get rezzed up, and Lightspeed's looking really good here with a 3-man advantage. Noam's gonna take down Magnify finally. Just the Ashe Mercy left for Prodigious, and they are going to be sent back to where they came, which is the spawn room, as Lightspeed does begin to cap this first point on Blizzard World. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a very good fight for Lightspeed as well, having to only expend the Coalescence. A nice stick. Spawn camping Prodigious here, Lightspeed are. That's a bit of an interesting maneuver while their Mario just sits on point, you know, just chilling. You know, it is the sports job, fortunately. Just gotta cap up that objective, but Lightspeed continue their spawn hold on Prodigious here. This is
very interesting. We saw the Pulse Bomb and the Earthshatter come out, and Mist is gonna miss the charge. Magnify finally falls, but Grant's gonna find Beppo. Some very interesting Overwatch we're witnessing right here, if I may say so myself, Needle.
In my 2 years of playing this game, being on a few different teams, I have never seen a team spawn hold on Blizzard World second. This was a very strange maneuver from Lightspeed, but it paid off decently well. They invested some ultimates, but they've got a lot of cart push for it, and Prodigious, they just give up the high ground to Prodigious, though. I don't really like that one. Prodigious, they have 5 ultimates and the high ground. This is looking pretty good for them, this fight.
Yeah, the Earthshatter's gonna come out from Magnify, or sorry, from Mist. Sorry, no, from Magnify. doesn't find anything. Both Mercies falling for teams. Graviton Surges coming out from either team as well, and just no big picks being found. They're just trading extremely slowly. Abstract falling down. Grant with a Torbolt is so big for zoning, and the members of Lightspeed that are really low health just back up into the Molten Core, and they're just gonna die.
That was a really smartly placed ult there from Grant. He had one blob of goop towards the front to help pressure out that Reinhardt, and the rest in the back so that there was no escape for Lightspeed. Good fight there from Prodigious, and they still have some of their ultimates in the bank, but at the same time, there are a lot of ultimates here for Lightspeed. They have no notable combos, but the Valkyrie and the Coalescence have been great engage tools for them so far this series.
Yeah, Coalescence comes out from Earthstalker to engage. They're going to play extremely aggressive on the Magnify, who's close to another Earth Shatter. Both runs with the Earth Shatters. Noam with a double Pulse Bomb, though. That's 3 members for Prodigious down. Noam with 3 that fight. Absolutely amazing fight for Noam. The double stick, the stick with the double kill with the Pulse Bomb, and finding one more.
Yeah, that was really good. Just too much damage for Prodigious to handle there. But Prodigious do still have a handle on the ultimate economy. They've got 4 ultimates online, heading towards 6. A lot of ultimates had to be used for Lightspeed to cap up that point. But 3 minutes on the time bank, I think it's going to be a bit difficult for Prodigious to... Well, I think they can definitely maintain they can regain their footing here with their ultimates, but I think it's going to be a bit difficult for them to continue to hold down Lightspeed's raw, untempered aggression that they've shown so far this series.
Yeah, and Abstract, another pick. Abstract's just been absolutely insane. And actually start taking the questionable Mercy duel there with the Valkyrie. Magnify with the Earth Shatter, looking to play aggressive here. Maybe get a huge Earth Shatter. A second one would be huge here to save this fight as the Ash falls down. And a huge Shatter again, another 4-man Shatter. The Nano Boost comes out. He's only able to find one though. Prodigious with the Torbolt to try to secure the fight. The Resurrection comes out from Lightspeed, still anyone's game. Beppo falls, and Prodigious is starting to look good in this fight again. Pick from Charybdis is going to confirm this fight. The Pulse Bomb comes out, though. Magnify falls, and it's actually not over for Lightspeed. A huge 4-man Shatter is just not enough. Lightspeed's going to continue to push this card as they regroup.
Yeah, really good Pulse Bomb there on the main tank of Prodigious, but now, Prodigious, they're stabilizing. You know, they have the better spawns. They got 2 picks there from Charybdis. That's really good. Prodigious, they're coming back, but their ultimate economy is not looking the best. I'd say we got some low ultimates on both sides. We have the Graviton Surges, though. This is going to be the battle of the Graviton Surges. We already saw that on second point. Probably going to see it again where both teams grab each other. But now we just see a swap onto Lucio from Extra Sharp. I really like the Lucio swap. These teams haven't been playing much Lucio so far, which was kind of confusing me, because Lucio makes a lot of sense with Reinhardt, and now that we get to see it here for Prodigious, I think this might be the key to help them get their footing here on this final point.
Graviton Surge is going to come out from the side of Lightspeed first, and not much to follow up on that as the Pulse Bomb was used, but Miss is going to find Magnify. A really nice charge there. Charybdis does come out with the Bob to try to delay point and maybe try to get a couple picks. Earthshatter comes out, barely misses members of Prodigious though.
Yeah, and now Prodigious, they're looking to stabilize. They have the Graviton Surge if they are able to get a good recontest going. The Reaper ult also almost online for Prodigious. They have a chance if they can get out of their spawn doors to win this next fight.
If they can get out of the spawn doors is the key phrase there as the Bob comes out to try to spawn camp. Remember, dude, with the big grab, barely able to touch. The Earth Shatter is blocked by Miss. A nice block there. 3 picks for Lightspeed is going to prove too much for Prodigious, and they're going to cap Blizzard World all 3 points with 1 minute and 2 remaining.
Yeah, Lightspeed, they have so much confidence after winning the last 2 maps that they're like, you know, we don't have a Lucio. We have no defensive ult to save us. But we don't care. We're just gonna go in Prodigious' spawn doors and for 2 points in a row. Like that's crazy. I've never seen a team do that before. It's crazy how aggressive that Lightspeed are being without a Lucio, but it's paying dividends for them so far on this map. They just absolutely Prodigious had some good fights. I'm not to discount Prodigious. They won, like, I believe at least 1 fight on every point. They stabilized at points. But when Lightspeed won fights, they won fights. Like, it was crazy. And then after they would spawn camp Prodigious, like, so much aggression from Lightspeed, and it paid off really well in their attack. I don't think they can spawn camp Prodigious on defense, though. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be quite a good idea. But we see some of the key factors for success for Lightspeed this map have been their DPS. The DPS lineup is just impregnable, as Bard would put it. It's been amazing. Abstract's been finding so many picks. Noam on the Tracer has been doing absolutely insane. The pulse bombs have been getting so much value. He's been building so many. It's been a really good game from all of Lightspeed, but especially the DPS lineup for Blizzard World so far.
Yeah, Miss going in for the early fire strike, not a spawn camp, thankfully. Just an early fire strike going for the ult charge here. But now we can see a somber pick from Grant. This is another new hero I mentioned last map. He played a lot of heroes last map. He played a lot of heroes the first map. Now we're going to see another one in his toolkit. What can't this guy play? But now we've got the Somber. I think it's going to be really good for them here, actually. Into the double sniper, it might struggle a bit, but at the same time, he can pressure out the snipers pretty well.
Yeah, gonna be really dangerous as he can get one shot by the Ashe. Speaking of one shot by the Ashe, Zoe's gonna fall to Abstract, a really early pick, and Extra Sharp's gonna be on the Lucio, so unable to res. We're just gonna have to regroup from the very beginning.
Yeah, like Lightspeed and Abstract, just Abstract. He's just so good, man. He looks so good. But now we can see the Widow pick here. Perhaps he doesn't have a Mercy, so I understand the Widow trying to match the Ashe duel because the Ashe has a Mercy pocket. Both of them can one-shot each other. But Grant remains on the Somber here. I think that if they could get an early hack, Prodigious could have a good engage. And there it is on the Reinhardt. That's a good one.
That was a great hack, and Prodigious comes out from a side that Lightspeed doesn't expect them to. Mist falls extremely low. Magnify finishes him off. There is a Resurrect available, though, and the Ariana does opt to go for it. Interrupted, though. A great interrupt from Prodigious. Magnify finds 2. No one finds 2, though, evening the fight once again. Abstract putting out so much damage as no one finds 3. 1 from Abstract. The DPS duo from Lightspeed just so insane. It's going to be the Sombra and Zarya versus both the DPS. Noam is going to fall, though. It's just going to be Abstract up on point, and unfortunately, even though Abstract has been playing extremely well, he's not going to be able to 1v2 this.
Yeah, the Zarya proving to be a bit too sturdy, but we might see a bit more of a no more recontest effort as Miss gets hacked again. This poor Reinhardt is getting hacked like crazy by Grant, who already has his EMP. Really good from Prodigious there. They lost the first fight just to an early pick there from Abstract, but they stabilized a bit. They looked pretty good going into the second fight. No spawn camp maneuver, so minus points for that one. Kind of wish we saw the spawn camp, the BM spawn camp from Prodigious, but they have Graviton Surge and EMP online. They could get a Graviton, no, not a Graviton Surge. They could get an EMP Shatter off this fight, and then get the Graviton Surge after while Manbro Dude has his energy and Beppo doesn't have his. I think Prodigious are looking really good to cap the second point.
Yeah, the ult economy for both teams is just so good, but I think the key to winning this fight is just using your ultimates first. Grant has to get this EMP off fast if he wants Prodigious to win. Noam does go out for the Dragon to zone Prodigious off. Zoe's gonna fall. Member Dude falls to the Bob from Abstract, and that is a quick, easy fight for Lightspeed, only using both their DPS ults.
Yeah, like you said, whoever used their ultimates first is going to win, and unfortunately for Prodigious, Lightspeed just used them first, and they were really well-placed ultimates as well. But there's still a lot of ultimates online here for Prodigious, but I'm really hoping we get to see a fast engage with the EMP Shatter from Prodigious here, because I think that could be a really good fight win. There's no defensive ultimate for Lightspeed. They don't have a Lucio to hide or a Zen to trance reactively to an EMP. Grant is just completely free to get a lot of value with it here.
Yeah, Beppo was crucially unaware that Grant was right behind him. Grant does it. Translocate into the middle of Lightspeed with the big EMP, but since he can't get out, he's just bound, and Lightspeed just pommeling Prodigious through the EMP. They don't care, they don't have abilities. Reinhardt still has a hammer, so Lightspeed just goes in and wins that fight.
Yeah, that was smart ultimate usage as well from Lightspeed. I mentioned that they don't have a defensive ultimate, but they used Nano and Valkyrie, so there was no real opportunity for Prodigious to have the right follow-up for their EMP there. Nice little reaction there from Noam. He's doing a really good job at holding this left side of the map, making it very difficult for Grant to find value on the Sombra so far. But the Graviton Surge still online for Manbro Dude. A good Graviton Surge, there are no support ultimates at all on the side of Lightspeed now, and that, unfortunately, he's dead. Well,
yeah. Abstract, you can't peek Abstract and expect to live. A great pick. He's got another Bob up, and Noam almost has another Dragon. The DPS duo from Lightspeed, and as I praise him, he just shows that he's worth the praise, and he picks off Zoe before the fight starts. We're just gonna have to regroup again. Just absolutely insane performance here from Abstract and Noam.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mercy plus Reinhardt, but the Mercy is just doing so well to enable Abstract and Noam so far this series that I can't really complain with how Lightspeed are picking their heroes.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge is gonna come out early. The beat from Extra Sharp gonna keep the team up, but Noam does find 2 with the Dragon. It's too much damage for the Beat to overcome, and that's going to be a fight win for Lightspeed. The Beat and the Coalescence came out from Prodigious, so that's a great trade for Lightspeed.
Yeah, but Abstract is hacked. Perhaps he'll die, but no, maybe not. Grant, he almost has the EMP online, the EMP Shatter. It didn't work out too well for Prodigious last time, but it might work out for them a bit better. Maybe they'll even EMP grab. You know, I wouldn't even be mad if they EMP grabbed here.
They are going to go opt for the grab. They do not EMP, though. The Earth Shatter comes out, as well as the Valkyrie, and Abstract with 3, and Ariana does find 1. Abstract with 4. Abstract, just another fight. He has done absolutely so much for Lightspeed. Remember, dude is going to switch onto the Hog here. Very interesting switch.
I honestly don't even hate this. If they were going to the left side to try, like, have the Hog deal with the snipers on high ground, but they're going the right side, which I really don't understand, and Extra Sharp he's already down. These high ground snipers for the side of Lightspeed have just been too free so far for this point B defense, and they are really good players mechanically. They've looked great so far. Noam and Abstract have, but at the same time, Prodigious is just playing into their hand. They're not contesting the snipers at all so far on this point B.
And the EMP comes out, but no one finds him immediately. Abstract finds Zoe. All the heals are gone for Prodigious already. Just the Lucio heals. Lucio is going to go down, though. Just 2 picks each for the DPS. Again, they just fight after fight. Noam and Abstract with their picks. But honestly, every single member of Lightspeed has been doing insane. Miss has been doing such a good job of keeping Magnify at bay. Beppel's been doing a great job appealing for the Reinhardt, and the supports have just been keeping everyone up.
Yep, very true, but not over yet for Prodigious, as they didn't have to push the cart very far, so they can have a long overtime fight. But never mind. Okay, never mind. Lightspeed, they're just too aggressive. They just looked so good. They really leveled up for this map. You know, the last 2 maps, they were close. Prodigious played them close, but Lightspeed, despite losing point 1, looked ridiculously dominant so far in this map.
And it's a story we've told every single fight. Abstract and Noam getting so many picks. In the very last overtime fight, Abstract finds 2 and Noam finds another. And Prodigious is just unable to touch. It's been such a good performance from Lightspeed this map. And they're going to take this match 3-0, although there is a 4th map. And in Stage 2, map differential does count a lot. So Lightspeed is going to move on to their Week 3 match, where they will have an opportunity to clinch the 1st or 2nd seed. And Prodigious will move on to Week 3 with the opportunity to clinch a 5th or 6th seed. Although, moving into this 4th map is just equally as important.
Yep, I definitely agree. You mentioned it at the start of the cast that Prodigious, they can still get a 5th seed. The loser of this match can still get a 5th seed, and that is Prodigious. And even though, like, seed 1 and 2 versus seed 5 and 6, there's a big difference, but seed 5 versus seed 6, there's still an important difference. The higher the seed, normally you get the easier matches. So you still want to win the maps despite losing the series. Prodigious, they're looking to come back here. I'm not sure what map they're going to pick. Honestly, I don't know what map they can pick that Lightspeed can't run their Mercy Ash and just look so good on, but I hope they've got something in their back pocket for this 4th map.
Yeah, I think that any map that Prodigious thinks that Abstract can get the least value on, and Noam can get the least value on, is a map that Prodigious can win. I think Prodigious is still showed to be playing well on the first 2 maps. Blizzard World, their attack looked pretty good heading on to 1st point, but as you stated, there were a couple problems with their 2nd point. They're still definitely not looking bad at all, especially with their 2 roster overhauls in the past couple of weeks. So I think that Prodigious can still win this map 4 and make this a closer series.
Oh yeah, mad respect to Prodigious for staying in the community despite losing a lot of members, you know, a lot of key members as well, but they're rebuilding and they looked pretty good. Like if you're Prodigious, you've rebuilt your roster again in 1 week. You kind of want to treat this match, as important as it is, as this is kind of still like a team bonding experience. This is probably the 3rd, maybe 4th time that this roster has played together. So losing in a somewhat close manner to one of the better teams in Discord tier, honestly, you take those if you're Prodigious. But what they should also take is this 4th map, which is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. I think this is probably the best pick out of the 3. They had Junkertown, Dorado, and Gibraltar to choose from. I think the Ash Mercy can be somewhat effective on this map, but at the same time, I think Prodigious have a good chance to win this map. and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. A different look than what we've seen so far. Mambo Dude is now on the Diva, a hero that he is. I believe he hasn't played all series long.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Winston Diva from the side of Prodigious. We did see the Winston Zarya. They unfortunately didn't win that downtown map when they played Winston Zarya, but Member Dude looked pretty strong on the Zarya, so it's interesting to see him on the Diva. I think that on Gibraltar, Diva is a much better pick on attack, or sorry, on defense or attack. There's just so much high ground in a Zarya. If you give that up, it takes you so long to get back up.
Yeah, the Diva might also help at shutting down Abstract and Noam just a bit, who have looked explosive so far, and they remain on their roles that have looked so good. Abstract on the Ashe. Noam, he's played a few things. He's played the Hanzo, he's played the Tracer, he's looked great on all of them, and he's going to go for the Tracer pick so far. And Abstract, he already gets a kill 10 seconds into the round. That's all this guy needs to kill somebody. He's so good.
Abstract with super early pick is going to take down Grant, which is a lot of damage gone for Prodigious, and he's not going to be able to build his Nano Blade, or sorry, his Dragon Blade at all. Noam does take down Magnify, a huge pick. Miss falls extremely low as the Diva is the mech. Miss does fall down, and this is going to give Prodigious a chance to regroup, and you know they're going to have another chance to recontest this fairly early.
Yeah, I believe Ashe was just nerfed, and Abstract is showing he doesn't really care about the nerfs. He's just doing so much damage. He already has his Bob as Lightspeed look to continue their aggression, but halted a bit by Prodigious. A good stabilize there from Prodigious as they take out 3 members of Lightspeed, but Abstract has his ultimate, Noam has his ultimate. You know, despite losing Lightspeed, are they really losing? Their ultimates, they charge so quickly because their DPS are just doing so much.
And Noam has been finding so much value with these pulse bombs and Abstract with these bobs. So Prodigious just need to build these support ultimates. Extra Sharp is so close to this beat. He's built it very fast. Nice performance from Extra Sharp. But the Bob comes out super early from Abstract. They're not going to give Extra Sharp a chance to build beat at all. He does finally build it though, and the Pulse comes out, not going to find much. Member Dude is the mech. Primal Rage comes out from Mist to hold Prodigious at bay, keep himself up as well. Lightspeed looking good in this fight so far. Charybdis does take down Mist, Magnified down. Both Winstons gone for both teams, and this is just becoming an absolute chaotic fight without the main tanks here. Charybdis falls with a nice no-clip from Noam. Gonna finish off Extra Sharp with a really nice melee blink. 3 for Noam. What an amazing fight from Noam there, as well from Abstract and all of Lightspeed. Just great job.
Lightspeed are not only doing well mechanically, they're doing really well at controlling space and taking it when it's given to them and forcing it when they aren't given the space. Just really good performance so far. A nice kill onto Zoe, good stagger from Lightspeed, but I think that there could be a good stabilize here from Prodigious, punishing Mist's aggression there, and they have the Nanoblade online as well for the next fight.
Yeah, Magnify with a really good kill there on a miss. Prodigious is playing this well. They're just regrouping. They don't want to play too aggressive, and they punish the aggression from Lightspeed, though. Member Dude does get demech from the Dynamite, and that's going to be really unfortunate for Prodigious. He's going to have to get that back fast if they don't want Lightspeed to use this opportunity to play super aggressive.
Ooh, but he's taken out while in a Baby Diva. Abstract is just too good, man.
Abstract finds 2 immediately. Grant's going to take down Beppo in the middle of his Diva Bomb to make him unable to remech, but Charybdis on the flank here. Abstract doesn't quite know. Ariana does spot the Reaper though, and Charybdis isn't able to do much there. Abstract finds Grant. 1 DPS gone for Prodigious. The Bob sent out behind the Prodigious tanks is gonna put so much pressure onto them. The Diva Bomb comes out from Member Dude, and it does not find anyone. Rare Soccer is taken down to half HP. Charybdis and Modify find picks of their own. Prodigious turning this fight around. Charybdis with the ultimate up. It is available to clean up this fight, but he's not going to need it. Prodigious do clean up that fight and win. Stop Lightspeed's aggression on point 2.
Yeah, and that was a very, very good fight win from Prodigious, as they didn't even have to use their Nano Blade. They still have it up, and they have a lot of space here. Unfortunately, they're going to have to give some of it away just because Abstract, you know, he's mercy pocketed. He's just commanding the space as he has so far this series. But the Nano Blade should be massive here for Prodigious. But
Grant.
Pop him.
Grant tries to challenge Abstract, but he's just not able to. Noam looking for the pulse bomb here. Doesn't quite connect with the stick. He's going to force the supports back, and I mean, even though he doesn't stick, it's such a huge pulse bomb because the supports kite back, and they're not able to heal the tanks of Prodigious, and the tanks of Prodigious fall.
Just, wow. I'm still stunned at how great Abstract is playing. I can't offer any good analysis, but, you know, Prodigious have had the Nano Blade for so long, but they've just been shut down time and time again by great plays from Lightspeed. as Lightspeed take the second point, but I'm hoping we get to see Prodigious stabilize a bit. Just don't die early, just get the Nano Blade off, but at the same time, Lightspeed make it so difficult for Prodigious to do that.
Yeah, Abstract has another bob up. Another bob. He's reminding me of Jerry from the Boston Uprising with how many bobs he's getting. This performance is insane. Prodigious just need with this Nano Blade to be big. The blade does come out as well as the Nano. Abstract found first. That's a great pick and a nice dash. Gonna kill Ariana, who's in the middle of the Valkyrie. 2 picks, 3 picks for Grant. Really, really nice fight there from Grant. And Prodigious gonna take a fight to finally stop Lightspeed's momentum again.
I like that one, and they didn't have to commit that much to do it. You know, Nano Blade is something that they've been meaning to commit for a few fights now, and they finally get it out. But they still have their ultimates online. They still have a lot of their ultimates online, at least. They have the sound barrier, and sound barrier alone can win a fight if it's used well. But we get to see a Nano Winston engage. Missed messing up his jump a bit there, but Nano Winston's gonna be really hard for Prodigious to deal with.
Yeah, B comes out from the side of Prodigious. A huge bomb. Member Dude finds 3. That's pretty much going to shut down Lightspeed completely. Misfound as well, and yeah, Lightspeed has no chance of winning that fight down 4 players. What? Oh, that was a great great bomb from Nemro Dude.
Yeah, really well-placed bomb. And still an ultimate online here for Prodigious. They have the Primal Rage. Not much on the side of Lightspeed. They have the Primal and they have the Pulse Bomb, but Noam, he's been really explosive with not only his play in general, but his Pulse Bombs as well so far this series. So a Pulse Bomb and Primal Rage might be all that Lightspeed need to win this fight, but they're going to have the Bob in just a few seconds as Abstract is shot after shot after shot.
You turn around and Abstract has another Bob. The Bob comes out, and no one's going to be found from Magnify. Nice Primal Rage there, although the fight's still even technically a 6v6 if you count Bob. Gonna be down so as well, and there's with no heals from the Ana, Magnify does fall too. Beppo finishes him off. Midward manages to get the mech back. Beppo's gonna fall extremely low. Charybdis does finish off the Ana from the side of Lightspeed. Miss finds 2. It's still an even fight. Charybdis with a huge bob, and now Lightspeed has no tanks, and I don't think they don't have any business winning this fight without any tanks. But that, a great bob from Abstract and a great comeback from Prodigious. Charybdis with his counter bob just proved to be too much for Lightspeed to handle.
Yeah, that bomb from Charybdis was really clutch there. And now the Nano Blade is back online for Prodigious. Still no defensive ultimate on the side of Lightspeed. So this Nano Blade should get a lot of value if he's not miraculously killed by Abstract again, like he was on second point.
Yeah, Abstract 50% to another bomb. Oh my god, shuts down the Dragon Blade. Grant gets... I don't have words to cast this. Noam gets the Nano Boost onto him. The Pulse Bomb goes out. The Diva Bomb as well from his out of Lightspeed. Every single ult. 4 ults come out from Lightspeed. 3 picks are found early. And they are just showing absolute dominance here. Remember, dude, D-Mech. Beppo with the bomb to finally clean up. Abstract finds 3 more. Manbro dude is found. Zoe's gonna try to stall on the Moira, and Lightspeed could have captured all 3 points of Gibraltar. 30 seconds remaining.
I caster cursed it. Oh, I said the only thing that could shut down the Nano Blade is another miraculous shot from Abstract, and then he just hit it. He just hit it, man. He's just.
That was an incredible shot from Abstract, and an incredible push by Lightspeed. But honestly, Prodigious still not out of it. They held to 30 seconds. It's actually pretty good for Gibraltar. Sometimes teams just get so much momentum that they cap with 3 or even 4 minutes. But I mean, the hold was good enough, and Lightspeed only has 30 seconds to work with if Prodigious can manage to cap all 3 points, which I think they can.
Yeah, I agree, Jim. That actually wasn't really that bad from Prodigious overall. It's just I was just a bit caught up in how. Whoa. My mind is still broken. Abstract has he's melted my brain. Sometimes my brain has like a meltdown, and Abstract has caused a brain meltdown for me, as he's made so many solo plays that I talk about ultimate economy most of the time between fights, but Abstract he is the ultimate economy. He is the thing that changes the game for Lightspeed, as he's just looks so good. And credit to Lightspeed for really enabling him as well. You know, it's not just him just mechanically popping off. His team is playing around him really well, but now, Bastion dive would be a really interesting looking from Prodigious. Probably just a bit of a in spawn. Oh yeah, he's just shooting the blackboard in spawn. But this is an interesting comp from Prodigious if they do opt to run it. They probably won't. But I like the Widow pick here from Charybdis to try to do it with Abstract some. But oh no, wait, they're actually on Bastion. Wait,
Grant decides to roll out on the Bastion. A little bit of an interesting pick. He's not gonna find much success versus the Ash Mercy though. The Ash Mercy is gonna be really good at poking him out, as Abstract does find Charybdis, and I mean, Prodigious just can't enter his sidelines without just dying. Noam takes down Grant. Both DPS are gone for the side of Prodigious. First going to be forced all the way back, and I think it might be time for Prodigious to get off the Bash and dive. I'm not sure that it's going to work out super well versus the Ashe Mercy, and they do opt to swap to the McCree.
Yeah, I'm very happy that they did that. I think the double hit scan isn't even that bad. The new McCree with his stun buffs can kill Tracers pretty reliably. Honestly, it's pretty easy to hit the shot now with a 0.8 second stun. Now we can see the aggressive engage already coming out here for Prodigious.
Yeah, members of Prodigious falling extremely low. They're going to have to give the high ground back up to Lightspeed, although the cart's being pushed extremely far. Zoe fades out of there, and Abstract finds Zoe. That's just going to force Prodigious to have to reset. Extra Sharp falls extremely low, not quite finished off, and as I say that, Abstract does finish him off. Magnify falls low as well. Miss is going to be found by Menro due to Prodigious can regroup fast, and they can definitely push into this, and Lightspeed won't have their main tank.
Yeah, they definitely can. They should be able to get both support ultimates online with all of Prodigious being a bit low. The Sound Barrier would be a really great tool to engage here if you are Prodigious. The Coalescence as well. Both support ults used in unison can lead to a really good aggressive engage if that's what Prodigious opts for.
Yeah, Lightspeed with 5 ultimates, almost 6, could be deadly for Prodigious here, with only barely getting 3 ultimates. Miss with the Primal Rage, gonna pop it super early, barely messes up, and finally able to pick off Charybdis. Noam's gonna find Grant though. That's both DPS gone for Prodigious, and they don't really have a good chance of winning this fight without their DPS, so they are going to go ahead and reset.
It's so hard for the DPS of Prodigious to even deal with Abstract because they're Lightspeed. The rest of their team is not letting them come anywhere near Abstract. He's so free on the high ground because Lightspeed are just playing so well around him. But a lot of ultimates here for Prodigious. They still have the double support ultimate combo that I was talking about, but a lot of ultimates remain on the side of Lightspeed as well. So it's going to be a bit of an ult fiesta here.
Yeah, like earlier on Blizzard World, whoever ults first is gonna win. If Beppo gets 2, they don't even get a chance to use their support ults. Prodigious, both supports gonna fall to the Diva Bomb. No one finds Grant as well, cleaning up the fight. And another, just such a dominant fight from Lightspeed.
Yeah, that was a very well-placed bomb there by Beppo. It feels like every fight I call that there's going to be an ult fiesta. Lightspeed is ult first with only a few ultimates, and they win the fight with it. So really, really good plays from Lightspeed, proving me wrong. But the beat is still online here for Prodigious. It could be enough to win this fight if they just have the raw aggression with it.
Charybdis pops the sights here, hoping to finally get a pick on the Abstract. Member Dude with the Diva Bomb, not going to connect. Beppo finds Grant. Ariana falls for the side of Lightspeed. No Mercy is going to be no Resurrection, and Prodigious are looking good to win this fight, though. The B comes out from Extra Sharp to keep Prodigious up, which is very useful, although Zoe doesn't quite connect with the beat. Going to be found by Miss. Miss finds 2. Nice fight from Miss. No one picks off Extra Sharp. Miss popping the Primal Rage to keep himself up, and it's just 2 members of Prodigious left on this point that need to be cleaned up. Magnify is going to fall, and it's just Member Dude who's going to get demeched and staggered here.
Oh, a very unfortunate time to stagger with only 30 seconds left on the clock. Member Dude, he's very sad. A very sad life being a baby diva right now, and he's taken out with only 14 seconds for a full regroup after Member Dude comes back from spawn. The High Noon is online, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for Prodigious here with Noam on the Tracer. He has his Pulse Bomb. Ariana, she has the Valkyrie. This is looking really good for Lightspeed, but I would not count Prodigious out just yet.
I mean, Abstract started the fight with 50%. He's already 80% to a Bob. He's going to be able to pop that fairly soon. 2 picks for Lightspeed, and Prodigious not looking good in this last overtime fight. The Coalescence coming out from Zoe, trying to keep Prodigious up. Beppo with the Diva Bomb, though. Abstract's Bob, gonna find 2, gonna find 3, picking off the last remaining members of Prodigious, and Gibraltar and this series are gonna go to Lightspeed. Lightspeed's gonna win 4-0.
Yeah, Lightspeed just looking like a well-oiled machine in this series, while unfortunately Prodigious has had to deal with some roster transactions. So, but, people often say, 4-0s are close 4-0s. I'd say this was a relatively close 4-0. We've casted 4-0s before, like Joey Esports versus SEAL Team Spuds. That was a relatively close 4-0. I think this is another one of those cases where the losing team, they put up a decent fight on some of the maps, but Lightspeed, when they were winning, I mentioned this on Blizzard World, when they're winning, they're winning. They looked so good when they took control of the game with their Ashe Mercy and their Tracer and whatever no one played. He looked really good supporting Abstract on the Reaper, on the Tracer, on the Hanzo, but all of Lightspeed playing really well this match. But respect to Prodigious for coming out here, not folding like a lot of teams have, unfortunately, so far this season, and doing their best effort to come back with a roster that I think in time could look pretty good.
Yeah, we saw a great performance from both of those teams there. Like you mentioned, it was a lot of people do say close for, but I think this is definitely one of those cases. We saw, especially before half, Prodigious put up a really, really good fight. I think Prodigious just keep playing their game. They keep practicing. They're still so new with their new overhauled roster. They just continue this and continue practicing and stay focused. 100% going into the playoffs, they can make a very, very good run.
Yeah, I completely agree. But Lightspeed, I thought they were pretty good going into this match. They were better than I expected. They looked really, really good in this match. Like their DPS just did so much for them, and they were enabled so well by the rest of the team, like Beppo and Mist. It was just really good showing there from Lightspeed.
Great match. And thank you everyone for tuning in to the Overwatch Tranquility Discord tier Stage 2, Week 2 match between Prodigious and Lightspeed, where we saw an incredible match with Lightspeed taking their first win of Stage 2, 4-0. With this huge win, Lightspeed now has a chance to clinch a first or second seed in the upcoming playoffs. Be sure to tune in shortly to one of our favorite Overwatch Tranquility features, the first Beat Drop podcast of Season 5, hosted by Captain Jack and Gizmo Charmander. The Beat Drop featuring Praxis will be premiering shortly after the end of this broadcast on the Overwatch Tranquility YouTube channel. Along with this, also be sure to check out our exciting upcoming featured matches, starting with the Sunday night YouTube feature match between Battalion and Flying Lions, which is planned to air at 9 p.m. EST. Tuesday, we move to Stage 2, Week 3 of the Harmony tier for the Ultraviolet vs Venom Cheese match at 8:30 p.m. EST. On Thursday, we move to the Discord tier where we see an exciting battle of the Titans at 8:30 p.m. EST, where Tailwind and Exodus will be facing off. Finally, we wrap up the week on Sunday with a YouTube featured match between Paradise and Jersey Boys, which will air at 9 p.m. I'm Chamanzi, and I've been your play-by-play caster for tonight, joined by Needle on analysis and Juke on production. Once again, thank you everyone for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.